Welcome to the Your Success Tonic podcast. I'm your host, Natalie Pincham, founder of Story Tonic and creator of the Story Makeover program. Find out the power of a story makeover by joining me at my upcoming masterclass. Just go to storytonic.co to grab your free seat. Now let's dive in. Welcome to Your Success Tonic. Today, I want to talk to you about something that came up in a coaching session this week that I thought was super interesting. And it's around this idea of why we resist doing the very thing that we most want. Now, I've been working for over a decade with vision-driven, passionate business owners, and I help entrepreneurs really build that dream of having a thriving online business. Now, they know that they're meant for more, and they are willing, oh, so willing to do what is necessary to work towards their vision, right? They're used to achieving success from hard work. They are high achievers. They've put in the hard work. They've put in the long hours, right? But the problem is, even though they're working those crazy hours and they're going all in, they do not have the results to show for it. And that's when they come to work with me. And I think it's one of the most painful and confusing experiences to have. I had it, which is why I understand it so deeply, right? And I help my clients through this. And it's totally bewildering when we resist doing the thing that we want the most and that we think that we're working at the hardest. So let's talk about that today. It's so hard to understand, right? Why on earth would we resist doing the thing that we want the most, right? It is a terrible and painful place to be. So, and I've seen this on repeat with so many of my fabulous clients, right? As I said, I experienced it too. I was so used to just putting in the hard work and seeing results from it. And when I started my business, that was not happening, right? So why do we sometimes shy away from what we yearn for the most, right? Why do we resist going after the very thing that we feel is going to change our lives the most? It's a puzzling conundrum, right? And it can really make us feel like we are caught in a never-ending maze, right? We're stuck in this really vicious and unpleasant cycle. And in these moments, vulnerability really takes center stage, right? Our fear of disappointment, our fear of the unknown becomes like this overpowering presence that we're living with day in, day out, right? We grapple with all the hard work. We set those big plans. We set the big goals, and we're doing it with courage. But underneath, we're really unaware of the patterns that are playing out that are really holding us back, right? And it leads us into this really horrible place of longing coupled with apprehension, right? This real tension between two opposing forces in our lives, right? And it's honestly, that is just exhausting. I know, I've been there. And since I am dedicated to helping my clients build businesses that are fully aligned with how they want to show up in the world, because I know that that is the only way to do it, right? I am also in the business of helping each of them do the thing that they most want, not just the thing that they're really great at doing, right? The thing that really just is so exciting. Right? Sometimes we have to find what that thing is first, right? It took me a long time to figure that out. And then we need to have everything we need so that we can fully go for it. And that's when having that coach makes all the difference. So I have given enormous attention, so much focus, and really loving compassion into figuring out why this happens, right? And the more I work with my clients and the more that I have delved into this in my own research, in my own experience, I've really uncovered something, right? It's that there are 3 levels of resistance, right? And your unique forms of resistance have to be transformed, and they have to be healed in order to do the exciting, bold thing that you want to do most. So to put it more simply, right, this resistance comes up when there is a mismatch between your internal reality and your external reality. The mismatch in the story that you're telling yourself and the story that you're telling others. And a mismatch between the story of what you really want, of the bigger calling, the bigger vision, with what you're also telling yourself and other people. And the way that you start to heal this is through story. Story allows you to start to connect the different parts of your brain and to start to make new connections and release these patterns of resistance. So let's look at a little bit of wisdom from Dr. David Schwartz, right? In The Magic of Thinking Big, he says it's all about the stories that we tell ourselves and how they shape our reality, right? So Dr. David Schwartz says that you're either speaking castles into existence or you're speaking yourself into the grave. So are we envisioning a life beyond the ordinary? Or are we unintentionally, perhaps, digging into our own limitations? You've got to choose the narrative wisely, right? Because the story that we tell can lead us to bigger things, or it can keep us in this confining box where we're just repeating the same things over and over again. It all starts with the stories that we tell ourselves. And it's also about how much time you spend thinking and talking about the things that you really, really want. You know, are you generating the future in your thoughts and your words, right? I am sure that if I spent the day listening to you speak, I could tell you whether you are describing the present and the past, or if you're leaning more into future and possibility. We have to use a story that shapes our future. If you listen to any visionary, any leader, right, they talk about the future, and the future that they're creating is bright. They hold that vision and they speak about it often, right? And it's not just about talking the talk, it's about believing and living the stories that you tell. So first off, you have to start imagining a different future than the reality you currently have, if it's not what you fully want. And you have to start speaking that future into existence. Start talking about the future that you want. So you want to use your language to shape your perspective. And you want to start releasing some of the resistance in this way. You speak affirmatively about the future you want as though it's already yours, and then your perspective will change. So why is this, right? Because you start engaging the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is like the guiding compass of your mind. It's an intricate neural network that is responsible for filtering and highlighting the information that matters most to you out of all of the inputs that you receive every day. So think of it almost like your brain's bouncer, right? Determining what gets past the velvet rope of your consciousness. So when you set a clear intention or you focus on something, the reticular activating system steps into action. It alerts you to all relevant opportunities and details that you need, that you are focusing on, all right? Details that in the past you may have completely gone by. You may have completely not noticed them because you didn't need them at the time, right? It's your very own superpower, right, for turning your thoughts into reality. So when you talk about the big dream that you have for your business, or the big dream you have for writing your book, whatever it is, that big dream, the big desire, you're essentially handing your reticular activating system, the guest list, to an extraordinary event called your future. And that's when you'll start to notice things all around you that are in line with that thing that you have said that you want to create, the thing that you are moving towards. You will notice things on the internet. You will notice posts in your social media feed that suddenly really click. You'll notice things in people's conversations about the very thing that you're thinking about and working toward. Because you're now thinking about it and talking about it, and things start to resonate in a different way. So now your attention is seeing it much more selectively. You see it, you get it confirmed by other people, other experiences around you, and then you believe it. So when you pay attention to what it is that you're actively wanting, and you're thinking about it and talking about it, you start to use your story as a tool, right? You're going to actually start to create the very thing you're wanting. And you're going to generate pathways toward getting there that you cannot currently see in this moment before you've made that commitment, made that decision to work towards that. You'll start to see unique ways of getting there, which were invisible to you before. They were there all along, but you didn't need them before, right? So there are pathways and opportunities all around you that are beyond anything that you may even be able to imagine at present, because you're not wired to see them yet. You haven't committed to that pathway yet. And there's another thing that's going to happen, and that is going to change your behavior, right? And guess what? That means you're going to get very, very different results. Once you've made that decision and you start to speak about it, you will start to find ways to get there. Your behavior will follow, your words and your actions will align with that, and you'll find amazing ways to get what you want. And this is the simple reason why all transformation comes back to your story, and why the words you use are very powerful, very, very important. So my invitation to you is to be very thoughtful about the stories that you tell. You know, when we uncover the stories beneath and learn the right tools to manage these patterns that are really controlling us until we bring intentional awareness to them, right? Then we can create a different relationship to the resistance that's coming up. We can unlock the transformation that's been waiting for us for so long, right? I go way deeper into this in my masterclass. It's my free masterclass called The Power of a Story Makeover. And I want you to come because there is so much very important information that you need to start creating the things that you really crave, and to understand these 3 levels that have to be addressed to start to generate the results that you're looking for. So head over to the show notes to grab the link to sign up, or head on over to my website, storytonic.co. I'll see you there. And I just want to ask you if you had a chance to follow and leave your rating of Your Success Tonic on Apple Podcasts. It only takes 2 quick clicks and it makes such a big difference. Thank you so much.